All right, hello and welcome. Welcome back to the Great Space. It's me, QD.
And me, Jennifer.
The wife. What's good? How you been?
I've been okay. Been great.
Me too.
Another day alive is always the best day of your life. Is that what you
Wait,
say?
yo, you trying to steal my stuff? Every day
What's yours is mine.
Every day above ground is my favorite, is what she's trying to say.
What's his is mine?
These are facts. These are facts. And I guess that brings me to today. It's been a while since we've been on the Great Space doing our thing. You know, and all I can really blame that on is time, really.
Maze.
Yeah, well,
No, actually, Nico.
You take realistically, it's Nico. He's the busiest kid ever. And so I guess today what I want to talk about is making time.
Making time.
Yeah, because, you know, life is, especially relationships are about time. No matter who the relationship involves, what your role is in the relationship, in order to develop, in order to progress, in order to proceed, in order to do better and grow within a relationship, you have to invest time. And in order for this program to grow and for our audience, our fan base, our listeners to grow, we have to put the time into creating the correct kind of show. So from everything to how it's produced, the timing in which it's put out, those are things that we need to work on. But as parents, we don't really have the time. We're making the time for what we've been able to do thus far. You agree?
Amen, amen.
So I want to say thank you to the handful of folks who's been rocking and sticking with us right now, because we know it's tough, and we know we don't post all the time, but we're working on that, because I know I'm very proud about how well we're doing as being parents. We got this parent thing down. Ask our spoiled ass sons.
Oh, yes.
I'm telling you. I'm not even trying to say we're the best parents. Nothing crazy like that. Well,
we're all the best.
What I am trying to say is we're making the best effort. Like, seriously.
That's right.
And with that being said,
time. So
yeah, talk to me about time. What is the importance of time to you? And no, you know what? I don't want to do two-part questions. That makes you have to remember too much, and that's unfair for the listeners too. So
probably don't even get a chance to answer the second question.
Exactly. That's usually how that happens. So the one question would be, what in your life right now are you dedicating the most time to?
Wow, that's a great question. Dedicating
the most time to?
I'd have to say my family, because outside of work, you know, there's only real two responsibilities in my life, and work is one of them, but it's only because I need to perform as a wife and a mother, so I have to go to work.
Right.
So with that being said, family. I'm dedicating most of my time to my immediate family. Those are my offspring and my husband.
All right, so let's do some math right quick. How many hours a week do you dedicate to commuting to work and then working?
48. 40 plus 8 plus 15 is what? 10, that's 58.
Keep going. You said 40 plus 8 is 48.
Right.
Plus 15
plus
is
10 is
58, 63.
63.
Yeah.
63 hours a week in work.
Right. All right. So then if you want to add 8 hours of sleep to that a night.
I don't get 8 hours of sleep, unfortunately. I wish I did, but I don't.
So you don't actually sleep the whole time, but that's what it's dedicated to. You're up dealing with the baby. You're doing what you got to do, even though it's
me
technically
personally,
designated for sleep.
I am a sleeper. You know, if I don't get an adequate amount of sleep, my body in the morning does not cooperate.
Fair enough.
With life.
That's usually how most people work.
Mm-hmm.
My point, and I was saying that just to say this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what if you could choose, if you could snap your fingers and make it so, what would you give the most time to in your life?
What would I?
Right now, today. Knowing what you know, living the life you live, all circumstances being what they are.
Right.
But if you had the option to, boom, magically just do what you want. I wouldn't even say hit the lottery, because it's not about the monetary, it's about the time. If you just had time to do something, what would it be?
Right. Me personally, I feel like I definitely need a lot more time. I need to dedicate a lot more time toward planning in my death and planning in my retirement.
Wow. Now, that's something that you've been thinking about because of, I would say, developments of late, or life as of late, or that's just something, is that it?
You answered the question.
Yeah, life as of late, huh? So as you live, you incur situations and things arise, and you start to think about your mortality. So right now, that's where you are in that space.
Yes, sir.
That's heavy. That's real heavy. We'll touch base on it.
Yeah. So what about you?
I'll let you know in a second. I have time to do what I want to do right now, in a sense, except it's producing, it's creating content, it's trying to set up a next level and the next opportunity for our lives as a family. It's based in the same end result.
The next chapter.
It's trying to go ahead and create the next chapter for this family.
The preliminary stages of your retirement.
Right. But what I want that to be set up with is an opportunity to create content and to have a part in media, because of since the world is becoming a place where people can turn on one or two devices, a la this, and then broadcast themselves out to the world. There's going to be a whole lot of people doing it, and not everybody's going to be good at it. So I want to be able to be honest with myself, see what I'm good at right now, what I shouldn't be wasting time on, and really dedicate my time to doing what I was shy about, and that's really being a voice, a personality, in a sense that I don't know if I'm like a natural type of host kind of guy. I used to rhyme like everybody else who's from where I'm from. Well, now from everywhere, everybody raps, right? But
He still does.
I used to rap. You never stop rapping if you know how to rap. But I'm not trying to make no album and come out and be nothing. But then again, I might, because I just decided, what's the rules to that? I don't know what the rules are. So I guess a second part of that time thing would be to live a little in the space of not being afraid. Dedicate some time to jumping off the cliff, just jumping off the edge with it and saying, F that. I put energy and effort into this because I loved it. I need to share it. I need to be rejected if that's what it's going to be, and I need to be loved if that's what it's going to be, and I need to be if that's what it's going to be. But it can't be nothing if it's just with me. So if I had a snap of a finger opportunity to boom, just do what I want all day, every day for the next whatever, if I just had the time to just do it, it would be to organize all of my creative efforts and have it live somewhere to be judged.
Nice to know.
That's what I would do with the time right now, because
I like setting up birthdays.
It's silly. That's what I would like to do with the time, because I feel like it's a needle in a haystack ideation. Something in there is dope. Of all this shit I've been doing for years, that's whatever. It's a collection of creativity, and none of it is the same. All of it, to me, is dope, in my opinion, in some way or another. But somebody's gonna love, hate, and everything, So, but nobody knows about it. And when I say it, you don't even know what I'm talking about. Music is the one thing I'm talking about. But I have other crazy ideas, and if you know me, you know what it is, how I think when you're around me is, my wife had me do stand-up comedy on my 36th birthday as a gift. That's the gift she gave me, to have me out on stage in front of friends, loved ones, and strangers, trying to make people laugh. Like, come on, dog.
Big shout out to Mr. Francesco. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity.
I like making people laugh, but when you say go, make me laugh.
I'm not the comedian
That's
here.
Scary.
You are.
That's scary. Nah, I can be funny. Life is funny like that. I think that I find humor in most things that happen, and that's the gift and the curse for me. Everything ain't funny, and for a lot of my life, being a funny and a nice guy has led me kind of astray. You know what I mean? Like I need to take some things more seriously, and life will serve you up that when you living and playing around too much. If it's not your job to play, you know what I mean? So that's that stand-up comedy stuff that you made me do made me realize that being funny is not no game.
It's not
You know
funny.
what I'm saying? Being funny is not a joke. You heard? If you're trying to be funny, do like everything else that you want to people to respect and love, and give it your all. You're not gonna half-ass your way into funny. You're not gonna half-ass your way into media. You're not gonna half-ass your way into success. That's for a random, lucky few and the fools. That's who God takes care of.
You know what? You're not gonna half your way
into
time. You're not gonna think that it's just there and you have it to give and offer a loved one, right?
Yeah, that's the realest.
You can't assume something like that, because it really takes time to create time for a loved one. It does.
Yeah.
Planning, commitment, dedication, no broken promises. It takes time, and the more children you have, or if you have parents or uncles or cousins or friends or whomever live with you and they revolve around your household schedule, it takes even more time and planning and dedication, and it creates more opportune times for you to break promises. So you can't half-ass your way into creating time for anyone. Don't take advantage of it.
Take it for granted. I got you.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the idea that's something that I'm working on. I may have mentioned it in the past on this podcast. I may not. Is dedicating time to reaching out to people I think about. I have like my grandparents down in North Carolina, my brother in North Carolina, my nephews. We got FaceTime. We have all this technology. We got phones. I don't call them enough. I don't FaceTime them. I don't video them. I just send them clips of something that I'm not sharing on the internet. You know what I mean? A post. Do you think enough family members have pictures of our kids that they don't see on the internet? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do, because I do the mailing list.
And that's what I mean. And I asked that question. That was kind of a loaded question. I know they do. But do you think most people who have kids and family,
you know how,
they
because
actually still swap physical photos?
When I go to our friends' homes or relatives' homes, very often do I see a bare refrigerator. And that's like the number one place to put those pictures that you receive in the mail.
Well, why do you think that is? I know. I bet you I know.
So,
because you spend a lot of time in front of that refrigerator.
See? No, some people, I have this one girlfriend where she doesn't like clutter, and I get that. A lot of people just don't like clutter. But when you know the type of person you're dealing with, you do understand and acknowledge the fact that, the pictures are just not being sent outside of social media or handsets or, things like that. Also, it's so funny you brought this point up, because literally before coming here, I called Mia. I said, hey, what's going on? Why haven't you called me in a while? And she says, what do you mean? I said, well, when was the last time you called me? She goes, I can't remember. Well, I only suffered for 9 months, dieted, did everything right to make sure you got 10 toes, 10 fingers, and you can't even remember the last time you called me. I am so sorry. She has such a sweetheart.
That was
she
mad
does.
momly of you.
But yes,
the guilt trip.
But point in case, it's a beautiful example. We have to make more time. It's a phone call. It's a voice. It's the tone of your voice. It's the words. FaceTime. It's your facial expression. It's the immediate connection and your eyes and your ears and all of those different senses that take place and are utilized and exchanged during a phone call that make that time spent rather than social media. It makes it more memorable.
No doubt.
I want to stress that, in anything we do in life, if you want to flourish, if you want to put a foot in front of another and show some progress, you have to dedicate time. And that's even in relationships. Every single relationship, if you want to see it progress, you have to dedicate time. It's hard. It could seem impossible, but out of sight, out of mind. You absolutely need to find time. You do.
Yeah, and I was speaking with a journalist. I was speaking with a journalist earlier this week, who puts a lot of effort into his pieces and his writing, and that was one of the things that we talked about in our appreciation for all of the content that we consume. we like the same type of sports, the same type of music. He quoted a lyric from an obscure MC that a lot of people don't really know in the mainstream. His name is Fonte, of a group called Little Brother. So he starts quoting a lyric from him, and he says one of my favorite rappers says. Then he starts the line, and then I finish the line, and his eyes lit up so big that I actually not only that I knew the author of that lyric, but that I knew the entire, like, I knew that song word for word. You've heard me play this record in the shower a million times. You heard me listen to this album forward and backwards. It's from Fonte's last solo album, and No News is Good News is what it's called, the album. And so I know every damn song on that joint, front to back. Big shout out to Fonte. I'm a big fan of Little Brother, always have been.
I'm sure learning those words took time.
But no, it actually didn't, because it touched the soul. It's not that it's not that he's not complicated, that he doesn't have complexity to it. He's got one of the flyest rhyme schemes ever. His flow is bananas. So all the props due to what the time he put into those lyrics. But the time that he put into those lyrics stuck with that man. He never knew what time it would be when it was time for him to express how those lyrics meant something so deep to him. And he had no idea that in that very moment of time, he'd be talking to probably as big, or if not a bigger fan of that lyricist.
Right.
So that's the funny part about how time works. And what we were talking about is putting the time into your craft, and how people can tell the difference between a rushed together anything and a well crafted anything. The time that's put in to the finished product cannot be fooled. It cannot be mistaken. You can only fool some of the people some of the time. But when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and when the effort is genuine, the proof will be in the pudding, as they say.
That's right.
So we want to just take this time again to say thank you. We appreciate y'all riding with us. We
appreciate your time.
All the time. It's the Dunbar family, the gray space. Just trying to figure it all out. That's all.
Yeah. Searching
for truth, love, prosperity, peace, and blessings. Till next time.